Villa, impressive away this season, and they are out for revenge after their League Cup loss here earlier this season. This, Jenna, very much a good test for both, and difficult to call a winner, difficult to say which of these two teams is favourite to pick up the full 3 points.
Yeah, definitely. I think historically these games have been very competitive and close, not much between the two teams, and both set up very similar, both are very difficult to break down this season, but going forwards they definitely have players that can cause harm and unlock both defences. So yeah, really competitive game ahead.
Well, Spurs with an early touch, and we know about the pace that Villa have, and it might just mean that Spurs sit in a little bit as they usually do and look to try and hit Beth England, who's still got plenty of nous as a central striker. Very much the player that the rest will be looking to play off and getting in behind. She leads the line so well, doesn't she?
She really does. You know, she's the leader out there. The work rate off the ball, I think, is huge as well, and is a key part of how Tottenham play. And I think night and day between the Tottenham team we saw last season, and a lot of that is down to the work rate off the ball from the players. And Martin Ho has worked hard on fitness levels and the intensity that he wants his team to play with, and absolutely Beth England's at the heart of that.
Difficult period, really, in terms of the scheduling. Obviously, Aston Villa with an extra game to squeeze in midweek. Martin Ho's side through to the League Cup quarter-final as well, so the games come thick and fast before the mini winter break that the WSL has. Natalia Araujo knows that her side and her squad depth will be tested over the course of the next week or so. England waits inside the penalty area. Spurs getting numbers inside the box. Naz has stayed wide right. Touch for Bartrip, who knows this is an opportunity for her. Naz to break forward, looking to find Beth England, but it'll spill through for D'Angelo.
Just early signs of Naz's pace down, out on that right-hand side, just turn in the pace, get past the defender. First real glimpse of that.
Not involved, of course, with England most recently in wins over China and Ghana. She would have been disappointed not to get the call-up.
Definitely. I think she's struggled with consistency. She started a number of games. I think Martin has brought out the best of her this season, but yeah, she's really struggled to make a mark on that team and in the Lionesses squad.
The bar is high, the quality is there for all to see from an England point of view. Let's see what Salmon can do here. There's an overlap over on the left-hand side. A Maltby shot is well saved. Kopp getting down brilliantly to bat that one away.
Maltby just free at the back post there. Good save from Kopp.
Yeah, we were discussing where Maltby might play, and we thought she might play central defensive as we see Daly get forward. Well, two opportunities, not quite sure if the flag had gone up here, but Maltby initially coming in on the blind side. She's playing the left wing-back role today.
Yeah, it was good play from Ebony Salmon there. Just a square ball across the face of the 6-yard box. Finding Maltby at the back post, but Kopp excellent at the near post.
It's a really smart save because it was a really well-struck effort, and then Daly looking just to take it beyond Kopp, who came out side of a 6-yard box really well.
Yeah, definitely. Really good starting position, made herself big. Big save, two big moments very early on.
Dutch international, of course. She was involved in recent international friendlies, most recently against South Korea in a 5-0 success. Daly again to take the shot on, and Aston Villa creating opportunities inside the opening 4 or 5 minutes or so. She's playing a more withdrawn role, we know these days, Rachel Daly, but she can still be very effective.
Oh, absolutely. I think her time on the pitch has been slightly limited. Got a different role within the team this season, but yeah, one thing's for sure is we know she scores goals, and she can't be allowed that type of space outside the box. Tottenham just need to calm the game down a little bit here, under a bit of pressure.
Positive start from Aston Villa as Kopp looks to go long. The Spurs look to mount an attack. Well, the flag has stayed down here. No, it's not, it's gone up. That was a little late. Maltby was chasing back and may well have got there first, but probably the right call.
It was a high line there, wasn't it, from Villa? Neville spotted the run.
Ooh, was close, wasn't it? But probably just off.
Toe off.
D'Angelo caught, but Villa get a little lucky. Another keeper that was involved in international football recently, played against Japan earlier this month in a 1-0 defeat. Has missed the odd game this season. Just a little slow to react as the press came.
Yeah, Beth England there, starting that press. You could see she covered some ground to get across. Far too relaxed from D'Angelo.
Meritz is going to take this throw. And guts to go again. Oh, clever ball in for Meritz. Once more continues the run. She's got Daly to the right. Players over on the left-hand side. Maltby inside. That's fast feet inside the area. Hansen's effort is a little tame and easily saved, but once again, Aston Villa finding the angles.
Yeah, there's lots of space down that left-hand side. Maltby again finds herself out wide. The pass is on every time. This time just cuts it back and Hansen can't get hold of it. Just almost scuffs her shot. Comfortable save for Kopp.
3 goals this season so far for Kirsty Hansen. Did net in that defeat against London City Lionesses last time out in the WSL, but she's had a good campaign so far. Neville will play the ball down the line.
Hansen's been huge for Villa this season. I think there's no better player than her when she's got the ball at her feet and she's just driving at defenders. So quick and powerful, and then she's also got that end product.
Early goal in the match between London City Lionesses and Brighton. It's Brighton that have the early advantage there. Kiko Seiko with the goal inside the opening half a dozen minutes. Spurs with a free kick. This is Hunt. Bar trip for Neville, and now Naz. Looking to take on all comers, but loses out as Aston Villa win it back. Here is Meritz. Daly to control. Hansen on the move. Looks to take the shot on early. Well, Salmon was just in behind. Maltby's going to chase it down, but can't keep it in play. But there's been some good movement in the opening 8 minutes or so from those Aston Villa forwards.
Really good. Daly dropping in to receive the ball and just links up well with Hansen, who finds herself out in the space. Daly recognising the run. Almost a rush shot from Hansen there. Expect better quality in those areas.
3 goals against Tottenham in her WSL career, 2 for Aston Villa. Mentioned the 3 she's scored so far this campaign. She netted against Everton in that incredible 3-3 draw, and indeed the win over West Ham earlier this season. Already matched her tally from last term in the WSL. Delonge under a little bit of pressure here from Wimberg. D'Angelo away. Well, just the pressure enough to see that one skew out of play.
And that's twice now Tottenham have triggered that press, and twice D'Angelo hasn't been able to cope with it, this time forcing the ball out of play.
Flick forward for Naz. England on the move. Wimberg calling for it as well. It's just going to bounce out of play, unfortunately.
Clever play from Holt there. Lovely little dink over the top to spot Jess's run. I think Holt is definitely a player that can be key in unlocking a really tough Villa defensive line. She's very skillful, very creative. It's been a big part of Ho's plans this season.
Long from D'Angelo after the press came from England once again. She gets through an awful lot of work rate, as we know. Flick forward by Samanin. And then the shot is blocked. It nearly falls for Naz, but it'll spin away for a corner nonetheless.
From Tottenham, just regaining possession in that midfield area. Lindberg getting involved, and then Holt gets a head up early, takes the shot on, spots D'Angelo off her line.
Yeah, she's a clever player, as you mentioned. Holt, she plays in that number 10 role, but she moves left and right as well. She's got really good ability on the ball, couple of goals in the WSL this season. Corner. High towards the back post. Really to the edge of the area. The volley is well struck, but it flashes over from Holt just as we were mentioning her ahead of the corner being taken. She got hold of that. It was dipping a little.
It was a good clearance initially from Grant into the path. Yeah, struck it really, really well through the laces. It's always leaning back and just couldn't keep it on target, but better from Tottenham.
It's a difficult chance, but just goes to show the confidence and the ability of the player. Happy to take it on. Meanwhile, there's pressure here. Well, the whistle has gone. And, well, Drew Spence was quick to apply the pressure, and England was on hand to tap home, but the referee intervenes.
Yeah, Spence was breathing down Kendall's neck there. I think in those situations, you want your keeper to recognise the pressure's on.
It's one of those situations where your coach might want you to play out from the back, but sometimes you've got to change the tactics and switch things up and go back to front a little quicker just to alleviate the pressure, because if players know that you're going to do that every single time, they can sense maybe you're going to get a little bit nervous, and the press comes every single time.
Definitely, and you need those players on the pitch to be able to recognise it in those moments and be able to adapt.
Yeah, senior players usually do, but D'Angelo didn't. This is Nilden to curl one and needed a little bit more bend on that one, but after maybe a nervous start from Tottenham, just beginning to find their range a little bit.
Yeah, finding the momentum in the game now, and you can see the confidence has picked up. Here, just looking at the press again, Beth England triggers it, and Drew Spence hot on the heels of Kendall.
It's a ball really that Lucia Kendall didn't really want, I suspect.
Absolutely not. And yeah, for me, I think D'Angelo looking a bit shaky with the ball at her feet, and I think the Tottenham forward line have recognised that.
When she goes long here, she's a good keeper, a lot of experience. She realises that she's got to switch it up a little bit, as Kopp didn't, but does get away with it. Credit the fast feet and the confidence inside the area, but I'm sure that all the coaching staff won't want to see that too often.
She definitely got away with one there. Had some breathing down her neck.
It always looks good if you get away with it, but I would imagine that you're not going to get away with it every single time. Neat skill and control from Jess Naz. Neville, Naz, England inside the penalty area. Wimberg as well. Cross doesn't come back towards the edge of the 6-yard box, but she's getting herself in some good areas.
She is. She's having a lot of joy down that right-hand side, just linking up with Neville here. Change of pace to receive the ball back again, and then this time goes for the first-time cross. It's always rising over the bar.
How's your control here, Lisa Kopp? There you go. Cool as you like.
She'll say she had that all under control,
yeah.
All day long.
All day long. Hunt with the challenge. Aston Villa have a throw, and it will be Moritz to take on this right-hand side. Villa, who recorded some 22 shots against London City Lionesses, their most ever in a WSL game that they've been beaten in. They were beaten 3-1, and it's their lack of efficiency in front of goal. They haven't got the ruthlessness, really, that has caused them problems. Only West Ham at 5.8% of a worse shot conversion rate than Aston Villa at 8.1 this term. They create chances, they just don't put enough of them away. Tend to think that they are moving in the right direction after a sluggish start, but obviously a bit of a setback against London City Lionesses last time out. But they beat Manchester United their last away game. They beat West Ham prior to that on their travels. Had some really good performances away from home. We need a different ball to that one, I suspect, here. So just a change before we restart. But sometimes teams may be just better set up and have got the tactical tweaks to play away from home a little bit easier than they do in front of their own supporters. Sometimes it happens that way.
Yeah, and I think they're definitely heading in the right direction. And they're so difficult to beat. They don't give up many opportunities. And as you said, I think they just struggle in that final third. But they've certainly got the players, when you look in the attacking players they've got in Daly, Hansen, Salmon, Grant, that can, you know, you feel that once it clicks, it will be a really positive thing for them. They've just got to find that and that consistency in the final third.
That's absolutely true. Any regression is going to be a positive for Villa. They will win games maybe when they don't deserve to sometimes, because they've been unlucky in a few fixtures this season. Shoving the back from Spence, gets away with that one. Here is Spence again. Now's coming infield. It's got a little narrow for Tottenham. Berg to turn away from trouble, does well, really good play, and then she's brought down by Maritz. That's a free kick.
Yeah, good play from Drew Spence there initially. Lots of players around her, but no panic. She's comfortable with the ball at her feet. Finds the pass of Winberg, and clever play from Winberg, feeling the touch of Maritz.
4 clean sheets for Spurs so far this season, 3 of which have come at home. Some league-high defensive figures. They don't create an awful lot. Their XG from open play has been minimal, to say the least. Less than 0.2 in 3 of their games against Arsenal, City and Chelsea. What can they conjure here? The free kick is cleared away. Salmon underneath it as well to try and complete the job, and maybe a counter here for Aston Villa. Hansen's touch a little tentative. Neville will be the recipient, and Spurs can build from the back again. Just only 1 of 7 at home in all competitions. Spurs, that against Manchester City. They were well beaten here in mid-September, but aside from that, it's been very positive. Maltby just about keeps it in play, returning to the side for her 5th start of the season. She has been used this term. She scored against Birmingham in the 3-3 League Cup draw. Lost out on penalties, didn't qualify for the quarter-finals when the teams involved in European football joined the party, but Spurs are through. They will take on Manchester United away from home late this month. But it's to play it back. And now Patton for D'Angelo. Daly dropped a little too deep. It sails over her head for Kopp. Last game in any competition for Spurs was that success against Bristol City in the League Cup that sent them into the quarter-finals. It's a nice distraction to have. I'm sure that Martin Ho will want his side to maintain this good WSL form. But you're only a couple of games away from a final appearance. This is England, and now Winberg coming forward. Naz has come in field. Spurs put their passes together as Neville joins in over on that right-hand side. Maltby is across, first time for Naz. England still waits. Winberg as well. Milden is up from the back also. It's going to spin away though for a goal kick.
A bit wasteful there from Naz. Tottenham have committed the bodies up there. Excellent play from Beth England initially, just to drive her team forward. Take that pressure off, and then just that quality in final third is lacking.
Well, Martin Ho said that we're in a good position. He said that Villa are in a good run of form. Really good side, got a good manager. Seems to have picked up some good results. Performances are matching that, but any game we go into now, we have to be at our best to win. And of course, Spurs aren't going to get a new recruit in January. He was talking about that this week as well. Signe Gasper, who's come from Brann, who he knows, of course, from his time in Scandinavia. That's going to be an interesting signing for Tottenham. Definitely.
I think it's a huge statement from the club as well. She's the potential, one of the brightest prospects in European football at the minute. So that's a huge signing for Tottenham, and it sets the way, I think, of Martin and what he's trying to build here, and just adding to a foundation that he's built quite quickly, actually. When you know, he came pre-season and has turned this team around, has given them the confidence. I think morale was very low at the end of last season, very underwhelming season, and he's given his players a foundation to be brave, to be themselves, and they've got that confidence. And I think it helps when you're picking up points along the way. They're able to express themselves, and they clearly trust in the plan. And I think first and foremost, they had to be a lot more difficult to beat, make it difficult for teams to play against them. And they've done exactly that, and that's the foundation to build on now.
Yeah, it's one thing saying that, and it's another thing doing it, but he has done it. There's absolutely no doubt about that. All the stats suggest as much, and he's done a terrific job, and the signing that's going to come in is a good statement from the club as well. Spurs very much on the up. And Villa have made some good signings, of course, ahead of this season, but you mentioned Tottenham last campaign, and it wasn't great, and obviously with Crystal Palace way off the pace, that the season in the league at least was allowed to drift a little bit. Let's see if England can get in behind here. Still going to chase it down. D'Angelo to clear, and Villa have possession once again. But sometimes you can get in the doldrums after a season like that, but there's been a real sort of flick of the switch for Tottenham this season. Yeah,
and I don't think that would have been easy. I think when you're a player and you haven't got that confidence, it's so hard to be at your best on the pitch. But you've got to give credit to him and his coaching team. He's got a team in that he trusts now around him, and they're getting the best out of the players that he's inherited, if you like. And yeah, I mean, they're quality players. There's no way that they should have been at the bottom of the season last season with the quality of squad that they had.
Villa have possession. Taylor's touch and then back towards D'Angelo. He has decided to go a little bit longer the last few clearances, but that's straight to Nilden, who controls well. Now, Holt to flick it through towards Naz, who could be in here! Oh, she's put it wide! Big opportunity. It bounced kindly for her right into her path, but she could not find the corner, and her effort goes wide.
That was fantastic from Olivia Holt. Great vision to spot the run, pierces it through the defenders, and Naz there, you can see she's just trying to find that bottom corner. Almost scuffs it wide of the post. That's a real opportunity for Jessica Naz. She's got to be scoring there, but what vision from Olivia Holt to find that pass.
Well, terrific midfield play, creative play from Olivia Holt. Jess Naz really should have done better. You mentioned that she's a little bit short on confidence. She has started every single game this season. She's got 1 assist on her WSL 25-26 CV. She only scored a couple of goals the last 2. We know what a talented footballer she is, and her last goal did come against Aston Villa last season in the 3-2 home defeat at the hands of Villa here back in April. And maybe it's just that confidence that's gone a little bit that maybe affected her there, although in her defence it did take a slight deflection on the way to it. She had to readjust ever so slightly.
Definitely. I think, you know, she's doing a lot of things really well, and it's just that final product. But like you say, I think that will come if she gets the one opportunity, 1 goal. That confidence will come, hopefully.
This is Cop 4. And Tottenham waits and waits a little bit more. Bit of pressure here from Ebony Salmon, and Hansen goes again. The press comes from the Villa attackers. 4 players looking to try and win it back, and they do. Salmon waits inside the penalty area. Hansen to turn and get the ball in. Good claim, confidently caught by Kopp.
And well there, Hansen. Just trying to lose Molly Bartrip out in the wide area, gets the head up. Delivery in, but no Villa players there ready to attack the ball.
As we just referenced, Villa did win here last season by 3-2. It was a 2-2 draw between the pair in the Midlands, so we usually get goals when these two sides play. Spurs' last success against Villa was an away win back in October 23, a 4-2 victory. Their last home win back in December 2020, a 3-1 success. Goals will come, we promise. Kendall takes it on. Taylor for Patton. Kendall again, there's options left and right. That's just overcooked a little. Got herself in a good position.
Very compact in that midfield area for both teams, lots of bodies. Really hard to break through the middle, and Kendall just spreading the play out wide there. Lots of space in those wide areas for both sides to attack.
Yeah, Natalia Rojo was talking about Lucia Kendall ahead of this fixture, saying it's been a crazy 3 or 4 months for her. She just needed this bigger exposure in the top division. Always expected this big impact in October or November. But she's got the quality in tight spaces with her passes. It's good to know that Serena Wigman, she was talking about the England coach, is also enjoying having her in her squad. Great goal against Ghana. Here is Hansen, and now Maltby. Villa coming forward, numbers inside the box here. Hansen looking to get a low ball in. It takes a deflection. It's a good block. It's a corner though for Villa.
Defending from Bartlett, that'll give her the world of confidence coming into this starting lineup. Second duel there with Hansen. So good with the ball at her feet, and excellent block.
Not easy for Molly Bartrip. Obviously, she was a regular last season, but Tucker Koga has come in and done brilliantly. You know, really terrific young player. Got a battle for your place, but she's got an opportunity to remind everybody of her talents today. Kendall to take the corner. Up goes the signal. Driven in low. Nodded away by Neville, and then the shot on the volley. Salmon caught it, but flew over the crossbar. Not an easy chance.
No, first time as well. Was running onto it. Good connection. Couldn't keep it on target there. That set piece from Kendall should be disappointed. Easy for Neville to defend.
Neither of these two sides, incidentally, have scored from corners so far this season. Maybe we're seeing why. Villa have won it back. Kendall does well. Daly on the ball, wants to try and get the angle to pull the trigger. But she loses out. Simonen does well, and then Naz will turn. She was having her jersey pulled there. That's going to be a free kick, and it might be a yellow card. It should be a yellow card. It is a yellow card.
Absolutely, I think Langes had to make that really clever play from Jess Naz. Hold-up play, excellent. Feels the player on her back. Lovely little turn, and then no complaining there for the yellow card.
Yeah, Delon's sort of taking one from the team, really. She realised that Naz had beaten her. Summer signing from Montpellier. Has been in senior squads, but hasn't played for the full French national side. Has played for the 23s. Here is Bartrip. And now it's with Hunt. Did play for Australia in a friendly against New Zealand in Adelaide, and then coming back to that's not easy. I've not done the journey, but they tell me it's hard.
Quick turnaround, isn't it? I think all the full squads were back in on Friday, and one day with the 1 or 2 days with your team before a game, it's tough.
Wimberg. Naz has popped up over on the left-hand side. Has she got the pace to keep this one in play? Just about. Looking to win the corner, does she? No. Well, Naz is upset about that. She believes there was a flick up off the Villa player's boot. Let's see if we can decipher what happened.
Just trying to pop it round. The ref's got that one right.
Yeah, probably the right call, I think. Yeah, not involved in England recently. Last appearance back in February. Embarrassment of riches to a certain extent, though, from an English point of view. There's a lot of very, very good players, certainly attacking players. Angelo for Patton, who will clear. And he slides in, looks to divert it for Salmon, who battles away. Well, this is going to be a yellow card here to Hunt, and I guess if you're giving one way, that incident a few moments ago when Delon was carded, I felt this was maybe slightly different.
Yeah, first thoughts, I thought Hunt had got on the... you can see there, she's pulling the shirt. Got her hands over her.
Yeah, that's a good angle. That's what the referee saw first time that we didn't.
And again, similarly, I think Hunt had to do that because once Salmon gets past you, not many defenders can catch her up.
Oh, she is very quick. Here is Ebony Salmon. There's too much juice on the ball to this near side. And Grant. Not seen too much of Chastity Grant on the right flank just yet. England to curl back. Well, was that aimed towards Hunt? If it was a little off. She has to do some defensive repairing job. She offers apologies.
Sure, if she was trying to find Kopp there, but Kopp was on a different page.
D'Angelo just speaking with the Villa coaching staff, not quite sure what the issue was there. Villa corner. They'll want to take short. Better angle maybe to get the centre in here from the French defender. And it's easily cleared, and Naz is on the move, but there is a player back for Aston Villa. D'Angelo. From Maritz's touch. Outside of the boot, down the line for Maltby. Can she keep it in? Not quite. Nice idea.
I don't think the pass from D'Angelo there helped Maritz out at all, or Maritz's body position and wasn't ready to receive it. Just slows the game down there where she had to adjust to play forward.
She's able to take the throw. Press towards Kopp once again, able to take it on her chest, doing really well. England to battle away and still chasing it down, and she's still going to go. It's a familiar gait as she races towards D'Angelo, who gets rid in double quick fashion. Nilden to nod back. There is Daly. Maltby on the move. Hansen calling for it. Turns and creates a little bit of space here. That's a clever ball for Kendall inside the area, but she's crowded out and is cleared away. Naz unable to make it stick, and then there's a bit of a drag back there, and that's going to be a free kick here to Aston Villa.
Key part of Kendall's game is arriving in and around that box at the perfect time, and it was Hansen there, just dropped into the pocket of space. Kendall arrives at the right time. Fast touch, maybe just lets her down into the path of Hunt, but good play there from Hansen and Kendall.
Yeah, a bit of frustration there from Naz, but comes to nothing from a Villa point of view, and Tottenham have got a goal kick here. Well, just past the half hour. Tottenham with 3 shots and Aston Villa 4. Villa, though, with 2 on target. Spurs shading the possession stats as it stands at the moment. A team that averaged just under 50% this season, so maybe being forced to be a little bit more ambitious than they normally would be. They're a side that like to sit in and frustrate opponents. D'Angelo. Daly. And again. Waits, straight ball over the top. Salmon is quick, as we know, and she should get there first. Ebony Salmon for Aston Villa. Just unable to find Hansen.
Hunt did well there, trapped the run every step of the way.
Neville. Yeah, good awareness, good game management from Claire Hunt there to get across, and you can see why Spurs are difficult to break down, because the back line work well together.
Yeah, I think they've had a consistent back line in Koga, Hunt and Kopp. Been very consistent and been key.
Wimberg. One step over, looking to drive to the byline and win a corner. Maritz it was that managed to get the block in.
Maritz plunging in, standing up, making it difficult for Wimberg to make the decision.
Someone who can strike a ball, as we know. Charged with the responsibility here with a flag kick as Spurs try to score from a corner for the first time this season. Just about in the quadrant. That'll do, surely. towards that near post area. Not quite if it was going to sneak towards goal or hit the side netting, but safety first approach from Delonde.
Sensible defending there. I think it was never coming in, but as you say, safety first.
Headed goal from a corner, I should quantify that. Scored from a flag kick via a boot, but not from a head. Still waiting. Referee just speaking with a couple of players who are getting in each other's way. That battle set to continue maybe here. It's a packed 6-yard box. Summon in again. That's another really good delivery. Punch to the edge of the penalty area. Holtz with the shot that's charged down now. Aston Villa coming forward 3-on-1 if they can move it quickly. Salmon plays it to the left-hand side. Just spins away to that left flank. Hansen wants it back. Good movement inside the area. Spurs have got players back in defensive areas, and it's just a corner and no more.
Yeah, the numbers were in their favour there, Aston Villa. Just the pass from Salmon, little too heavy in that moment. Really strong hand from D'Angelo with bodies around her, and then Hansen, here you go. This is her at her best. Grass to attack. Busting her gut to get forward, and yeah, Nilden done well, got across, stop the attack.
Yeah, it was 3-on-1. The cavalry were coming for Aston Villa. Spurs did really well to prevent the clean shot at goal at least, but it will be a corner. This one taken to the edge of the area. Ebony Salmon makes space nicely, still has it, loses out. Villa win it back, shuffle to the left-hand side. Let's see what the visitors can do here. Maltby stayed forward inside the area. Daly waits as well. Patton is up from the back also. They've stayed in advanced areas here. But again, Spurs defending really well. And that's the first rule, isn't it? Stop the cross, you know?
Definitely, and perfect defending there. Not being forced in, not lunging in, not making it easy for those wide players, and then just making it as difficult as possible. And that's what we've seen in glimpses this afternoon.
He's going to be happy with the way that his side have gone about their business from a defensive standpoint, but Spurs have missed chances, and certainly the best chance of the match so far with Jess Naz firing wide from close in.
I think Martin spoke before the game about taking those chances, being ruthless, because Aston Villa, as we know, don't give up those chances, opportunities very often, and I think that Naz chance is exactly what he was speaking about.
Yeah, that is Exhibit A for sure. Game has livened up a little bit last 5 or 6 minutes. The conditions aren't great. There's a bit of icy rain that's been falling over the course of the fixture. It's not easy for players.
Maritz there, just using her experience. Young Weinberg spotted her, just dinked it past her again. I think it's the second time she's tried that move.
Captain's just being spoken with, Rachel Daly and now Beth England. Hunt to take the free kick as Tottenham restart. 0-0, 38 minutes in. Towards Jess Naz, who spins away from Maltby. Uses her pace to keep it in, but she's still got the defender to beat. Does get the cross in. England with a header! Well, it was Patton who was in the way, and it was deflected behind for a corner. That is her stock in trade for sure.
Yeah, trademark Bethany England there. Great movement to get in front of Patton, and what a vital interception that was. Last-ditch defending from Patton. But yeah, excellent run from Bethany England to just lose the defender there, and great work from Naz out on that right-hand side.
Combination play was brilliant for Tottenham. Beth England doing what she does best, but a really good block. In comes the corner. Then on the way.
Set pieces for either team haven't been great. Deliveries into the box this afternoon. I think with the conditions, you just want to whip it in there, test the keeper.
Holt. Away by Delonde. Spence, Naz, no one wide left at the moment. Milden joining in, it's come back towards Spence, and now Naz once again. Here is the fullback. Well spotted, good interception. Villa come away with the ball once more. Hansen will lay it off. Daly, wonderful Cruyff turn. In a tight area just to buy a little bit of time and space for Aston Villa. We talked about Spurs' lack of expected goals figures against some of the big hitters in the WSL this season, but they've managed to register 0.8 so far. That big chance from Jess Naz, of course, from a Villa standpoint, 0.23. So Spurs may head into the break if it is 0-0, feeling a little aggrieved maybe that they're not in front. Aston Villa have had chances, but the big opportunity has come Tottenham's way. Milden for Summonen. Spence takes it on. It's on the left-hand side, but the ball is through the middle. And it's shepherded back by Patton for D'Angelo to clear. Neville. Allowed to come a long way. Daly picks the pocket of the full-back to win it back for Aston Villa. Lindbergh helps win it back. Spurs have it once more. It's a bit of a battle in that midfield third, and it's a loose pass that will see Villa pick up the pace once again. Daly, always influential with a ball at her feet, outside of the boot pass. And Hansen's on the move here as well, in between defenders, takes it high on her chest. Does she win a corner? No. Oh, a bit unlucky there, maybe.
Bartrip just using her body there. Just getting in between Hansen and the ball to see it out. Good first touch, just a little too heavy, and I don't think Bartrip got a touch.
I don't think
there.
She got a touch.
No.
She sort of slid one way, the ball went the other.
The wet conditions did her a favour there.
Got a body between player and ball. She did all right.
She did enough.
Yeah, I think referee's done well today. Obviously, testing conditions. We've seen one or two sort of tugs of the shirt that have seen players cautioned. Some cynical stuff that's been well dealt with. Not that it's been a game that's ever threatened to boil over. England on the move. Can't get to that one. Delon will play it back. Patton to take a touch. Delon to clear. Ebony Salmon, who will look to go again, and we know that she's quick. Can she get there first? She's still may able to get there. That's a wonderful sliding challenge. Come interception from Bartrip.
Fantastic defending from Bartrip there. Had to get it right, had to time it right. And she does exactly that, perfect timing. That was a great move from Villa. Back to front, playing out from the back. And that's what can happen when you get it right there. Really well done.
Super challenge for a player making her first WSL appearance of the season. Let's not forget today in for the Japanese international Toko Koga, who is missing because of illness. Further defensive work to do for Tottenham at the minute as Maltby gets forward. Had that shot very early on, of course.
Just runs into pressure there, Maltby. Lots of white shirts around her. Eases past Neville. Just going back to Bartrip, I think she's had to be patient purely because of the fact of how good Tottenham have been defensively. You know, Koga's come in and has been a phenomenal signing, a young player with a huge potential and has settled into life straight away, which sometimes doesn't happen. And then Claire Hunt, I think, is a player who's really flourished under Martin Ho. I think she struggled last year. You know, a whole new culture, new team, new style of play, and they weren't winning, so it's difficult to come into that, and she really struggled. But I think this season we've seen the best of Claire Hunt, and she's a mainstay across that back line.
Yeah, Hunt, of course, was at Paris Saint-Germain previously, and obviously if you're at a team that wins a lot of games, as PSG generally do, sometimes if you're in a side that might need a little bit different from you in terms of tactically, but she's done well this season. Yeah, you wouldn't change it. Why would you? You know, clean sheets abound, and Spurs have been excellent from a defensive standpoint. You're not going to change those defensive players to accommodate a regular from last season. But she has done really well today, and it's not easy coming into a side where there's a little bit of pressure on you. A, you haven't played. B, you know how good the player that you're replacing has been and how good generally that defensive unit has been as well.
Yeah, and then seeing the attacking players of Villa as well.
It's Beth England. Oh, well, Wimberg has gone down. It was an awkward collision. Referee got a good view of that, just a coming together rather than anything else. And the referee does blow for the half. England got through. This was a late chance, but unfortunately from Spurs they couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah, the ball from Holt was excellent, and then the ball's whizzed into Wimberg, and her first touch almost went into the Villa defender. Another opportunity goes begging.
Well, we've seen Lisa Kopp with some fast feet inside her own penalty area, and it has been defences that have been on top. Really good effort from Maltby early on in the game for Aston Villa, but unfortunately no goals in wet conditions at Brisbane Road so far today. And at the break it is Tottenham 0, Aston Villa 0. In the second 45, we're about to get underway. Spurs restart then here, 0-0 after 45 minutes, and it suggests that Spurs will feel maybe a little aggrieved. They've had the better opportunities. Villa started strongly, but Spurs, I thought, controlled more of the game in that first half. They've just got to be a little more ruthless in front of goal in this second half, Jenna.
Definitely, I think Tottenham grew into that first half there and had that clear chance with Naz, and then dying moments, that the Bethany England header. So I think they'll be pleased. I think both teams defensively have been good, and it's just that clinical edge in the final third from both sides.
Yeah, to a certain extent, it replicates what we've seen for much of the season with these two. Spurs very good at the back and just about getting over the line. And Villa missing opportunities maybe when they should have done better. Just those two wins, as we mentioned so far. Only the 8 games, obviously, that rearranged game against Liverpool coming up in midweek. So it's going to test the squad depth for Natalia Araujo, but she knows that, and she has made changes for this game, some for, some not. Here is England. Clever reverse ball inside the penalty area. Wimberg manages to get a touch, but can't force it back for Naz. It's cleared away.
Good link-up play there. England just receiving back to goal, turning, picking out the pass, the run of Wimberg, but Moritz does really, really well. Tracks the run all the way, stands up, forces Wimberg into a mistake.
Taken down by Kendall. Really good take as well. Salmon likewise shoulder to shoulder here, but she loses out. Hunt gets across well. Been
a really good battle there between Hunt and Salmon in the first half. Hunt almost smothering Salmon every time she's got the ball back to goal, but a really good battle going on.
But it's clever defending, isn't it? She knows when to get tight, she knows when to sit off a little bit. It's always difficult against a player that's got an awful lot of pace. You've got to pick your battles and pick your spots when you go tight and so on.
Yeah, you've got to get it right when you go tight, because the minute you don't get it right, Salmon got that turn of pace that can really threaten.
Naz whips in across, really neatly done, nodded down towards Spence, at the edge of the area. Terrific block. Well, that was hit with plenty of force by Holt. And it was a block from Aston Villa, and Taylor who got in the way.
Really brave defending, body on the line there. Holt connected with it perfectly. There was a lot of power in it. Wimberg there, just trying to nod it down into Spence. And yeah, really good defending. Holt can only smash the ball into back of Taylor's.
I'll tell you what, I mean, you can't fault the effort, the industry, the energy of the two teams, the defensive ability of both of these sides have been really, really good. They've tracked runs, they've got themselves in the way. It's been very difficult from an attacking standpoint. They're really well organised, these two sides at the back. Some of them will take a short corner. And now Holt to get the cross in. Daly's there, awkward first touch. The clearance back towards Summonen, who will curl in, but the referee blows and Villa get the decision.
Yeah, I think it was just Daly there. And Bartrip colliding in the box there, but Olivia Holt again at the heart of it, just pulling strings.
Angelo for Maltby. Maltby loses out. Neville quick to apply the pressure. That's been the key word over the course of this game. Neville again, now it's with Naz. Produced a wonderful cross a few moments ago. Can she do something similar here? Skips away from the first challenge. Oh, and right across the face of goal. Jess Naz with some really good wing play and a terrific ball in, but there was no one in Spurs colours to apply the finish.
Excellent from Naz, does really, really well, 1v1. Gets past two Aston Villa defenders and then the ball in. Almost bobbles under the keeper, across the line, and no one's there to finish it at the back post, but really positive play from Naz out on the right-hand side.
Spurs on the up. Neville. And now Naz. Spurs are going to have another go. It was Spence making the move. Neville again. Just caught on the heels maybe there. Villa come away with possession. Daly gets there first, comes infield. Strong challenge from Spence. The referee had a good view at that. Daly stayed down. Spence saying, I got the ball. The referee agreeing, but we are going to just hold here as Daly might need a little bit of treatment.
That's Drew Spence all over in that midfield area. So combative, tenacious. Definitely gets the ball there, goes in strong. Was never going to give that up.
Well, how close or otherwise was this? This is tremendous wing play. Skips away from the challenge, gets a head up, low ball in. Quite sure how it managed to smuggle underneath the keeper and then sort of divert away from goal.
I think it takes a deflection just there off the boot of Moritz and it bobbles under the keeper. It's just dying for someone just to get anything on it. Real let off there.
Well, that's where she's been effective on that right-hand side. She has popped up on the left as well, but she's so good in those areas. She's still going to look back at the chance that she missed if Tottenham don't win this game. But I think, you know, overall, it's a 7-8 out of 10 performance for me so far. But obviously, you look at that chance and that's the standout moment that unfortunately she fluffed.
Yeah, it's a big, big moment for her. But I think the way she's carried herself after that and be able
100%.
to get on with it, it's about how you pick yourself up. And she's certainly done that and had a huge impact. Deliveries into the box have been very dangerous.
Yeah, it's that ability to shake off that disappointment. We're still talking about it, but she's got it out of her mind, and she's been brilliant since then.
You have to. You've got to be ready for the next moment and be there for your team.
6 minutes in to this second half, and Spurs are pushing. This was the opportunity that she missed in the first half, but she's shaken that from her mind to be a real thorn in Aston Villa's defence. Maltby breaking forward meanwhile for the Villains.
Defending, just doubling up there. Bartrick coming out to help her teammate Neville. Stopping the ball, the early delivery into the box.
Well, this has been a tough contest between two good teams. Lindsay Daly is back on. Summonen has been strapped up as well, potentially having picked up an injury along the line. Villa with a corner. 5 inside the penalty area for Aston Villa here. A couple lurking just outside the box. Doesn't beat the first player, and just a throw to show for their efforts. Delonge. Kendall. Teddy will play it back. This is Patton. And it's has to scamper. Doesn't get there. And the break is on. Now, what can Tottenham do here? London tries to take it on, breaks kindly initially, but can't continue her on pattern, spotted the danger.
Just needed to be a bit more composed there in those moments. Weinberg initially slowed the game down to allow her teammates to get up, just holding up that play a bit and then just giving up the ball too easily.
I suppose last game in the WSL was a 0-0 draw against Arsenal. Previously that 4-2 reverse at the hands of London City prior to that win against Liverpool. Come from behind success, of course, against the Merseysiders. And of course, when these two sides did meet in the League Cup, it was 0-0 at the 90. Went to a penalty shootout. Been none of that here, of course. Daly pressured. Summonen penalised, offers apologies.
Really just teeing herself up. Summonen using her body.
Spurs have scored in 6 of 9 in the WSL. For Villa, they've scored in their last 3, and indeed 6 of their 8 games in the top flight this season. And these teams have enjoyed plenty of clean sheets as well, as we discussed earlier. Is that kept in play? Obviously.
I think even Jess was surprised by that.
Oh yeah,
goal.
I think she expected the whistle to go. D'Angelo. England's flick. Spence battles, Kendall does well. Looks to slip Daly in here. Villa on the move. Hansen is calling for it. Too close to the keeper. Yeah.
There's a moment there again. Kendall excellent in tight spaces. And her first thought is always, can I find a forward pass? And she does that. And then Daly, just too heavy. Final ball again.
Naz kills it well under real pressure. Takes 2 Villa players to win it, and they win it unfairly, illegally.
With Naz showing that strength, using her body.
Well, we are going to see a change here. Anthony Salmon, who's battled hard. The player to be taken off, and as you may well have seen, Maya Chikata, the player that's on. Villa with some defending to do here.
Good shift from Salmon there.
Yeah.
I think give credit to Claire Hunt, though. I think she relatively kept her quiet.
I think that's fair. She's won the battle. Salmon has lasted nearly an hour. She's put in a lot of effort, a lot of work on a heavy pitch, a lot of runs, chased down. Obviously, she would have wanted to do a little bit better in terms of goals and assists, having come back into the side, and she's been in and out of the starting lineup this season. But I think she can be proud of her performance. But she is replaced here. Naz. Holtz. Chicanta's header. Spence is battling that midfield once again. Vinberg to take it on. England might be able to get in. Cleared away again.
Yeah, it's getting scrappy in that midfield area, isn't it? Challenges flying in. This time Tottenham come out on top. Weinberg and England connecting again. Drew Spence, hard work, battling in there. Just good cover in there from DeLange to intercept Beth England.
First appearance of the season for Hijikata, of course. Interesting to see how she adapts and how she gets on in the final half an hour here. Holt could be in. England with a shot. Oh, wonderful save. D'Angelo getting across, getting her fingertips to that. England can't believe it. It was goal-bound, but for the intervention of the Villa keeper.
Yeah, really good. Ashley Neville spotting the run of Holt, and Holt just cuts it back into the path of England, who keeps it low. Lovely little cutback. First time, and fantastic one-handed save there from D'Angelo. Great move from Tottenham.
Martin Ho applauds the creativity and the shot. Maybe even the save as well. Really good football, both from an attacking standpoint and obviously from a goalkeeping point of view as well. Someone to curl into the near post. Daly will nod it behind, and it's another corner. Another chance to curl this one in. Hoisted towards the far post in England, who will knot it back, and it's cleared away. Over with a shot, Naz with a touch, might get a second go, bobbles away from the winger. Villa come forwards. Jakarta looking to take it on first time. Hansen has got a bit of pace here. Can she get there first? Not quite. Really good covering work. England it was that came across. And now Spurs are on the counter again, but Naz loses out. This is Spence. And again, Vinberg. Holt. Spurs busy in that midfield area. Neville. England inevitably waits inside the penalty area. Holt is there as well. This is Naz to curl in. Comfortable for D'Angelo.
Just too close to D'Angelo there, the delivery from Naz, but time and time again down this right-hand side, and Naz is finding herself 1v1, and she's getting the better of Maltby. Ashley Neville getting higher up in this second half as well, joining the attack is having an impact. Yeah,
that's been a feature. She's been excellent. Causing Aston Villa one or two problems for sure, but it is Villa coming forwards here. And this is Daly. And again, Jakarta waits inside the box. And it's Daly again to curl in. Nod it up into the air. Barge up in the right place at the right time. Not for the first time at the back. Naz. Neville caught. And Jakarta wins a corner. Does she? Not quite. Neville recovers well. That's just a throw.
She does, recovers well there. She's a little bit relaxed there. Just trying. Cheeky little chop.
Still the instructions are coming out from Natalia Rojo. And Jakarta, who was signed from Bellezza, the Japanese team. Patton. Daly looks to turn it round the corner, but Spurs have got too many players back. Is the game just opening up a little bit here? That's going to be a free kick. Tottenham, we were saying, well, maybe they could have played advantage. Did they have possession then? Either way, Spurs can just regroup here.
Yeah, they definitely are on the front, but that was Claire Hunt again doing her defensive duties. So alert, hasn't switched off. Got to maintain this for remaining time in this second half, but I think Molly Bartrip and Claire Hunt have been really, really good so far and look like they've played many times together this season.
Absolutely. Maltby. Taylor scored that goal against United, of course. Kendall measured ball, but doesn't measure it enough, and it's Ashley Neville once again intercepts. She reads the game so well. They're on 4, Patton. Two centre-halves being dragged out a little bit here. Oh, Daly does well. Now then, Hansen is calling for it. Rachel Daly still has it. Ball inside the box. Well, running onto that one, it's another good challenge. And the ball spins away.
Yeah, it's Hunt. I think that's a rare time she's got on the wrong side of Daly. Daly gets her head up, tries to find the pass beyond for Grant, but Summonen this time tracking back from midfield to get the block in. I think you said it earlier, but both teams out of possession have been absolutely fantastic. The work rate off the ball and desire to get back and break play up.
Villa with a corner. Up goes the signal. In swinger maybe order of the day towards the near post, and the header from Hijikata flashes wide. She got first drop on a marker but couldn't find the target.
Did really well to get herself in that position. Just loses Naz at that near post. Claire Hunt was there as well to double up. It was going to be a difficult angle to try and keep that on target, but excellent movement from the substitute.
Yeah, hasn't played prior to today for Villa. Injury that's kept her out for quite some time. It was an ankle problem that caused a delayed WSL debut. She has been on the bench for a League Cup fixture this season. Last competitive game for the Japanese under-20 side. This was a strong challenge. The referee is going to produce a yellow card here, and it is a red. Well, it was a strong challenge for sure. And Delon's with a second yellow card. It was flourished very quickly by Abby Byrne, and Villa's troubles are multiplied because Delon has been sent off.
Yeah, and I think this is a moment now where Tottenham have that momentum and have got to take advantage of having the extra player on the pitch. Maybe at the heart of it. Jessica Naz, and yeah, Delange first has the shirt of Naz, and then it's a reckless challenge, isn't it, when you're on a yellow card? You can't be making challenges like that.
Well, she got the first yellow for a tug on the shirt in the first half, and then she could have been booked for the first challenge, but the second was definitely a yellow and a borderline sort of red. It's a bit orangey, isn't it, that one? And she knew straight away, I think, because she was quickly down the tunnel. There
was no complaints, was there? Here you see it. Yes, the follow-through. The follow-through, there was no need for it.
Well, Delonde is off, and it means that Villa are down to 10 here. Spurs were already creating opportunities. Here is Jess Naz, who just stumbles, unfortunately. Oh, that looked a bad fall as well. Well, it was awkward, and there is real concern with her teammates here as well. Jess Naz, who's had a really good game. But, oh, when you start to feel that your knee and the side of it, we fear the worst here. Let's hope that she's okay. But, Jenna, this doesn't look great for Jess Naz.
It doesn't. I don't think there was contact either. You see her, as soon as she goes down, she's holding that knee. Praying it's not the dreaded.
Well, how many more do we need this season? Across the WSL, so many teams, so many players have been affected.
She's already had one serious injury in her first season in the WSL. Missed the first season as a professional player due to an ACL injury. Let's hope it's not the same.
Well, straight away she went down, arm went up, she was clutching the right knee. And you can see that the physios are on, offering some support, but this does not look good. Obviously, we always fear the worst because of the amount of ACLs that unfortunately hit the women's game. We've already got, I mean, Jill Bangs is out for Aston Villa at the moment with an ACL, and you can list an awful lot this season and over the last few years. I know there's been studies into why it seems to happen more often than not, and I'm sure over time we'll get there to help prevent these injuries, but at the moment it is a real curse on the women's game.
Yeah, it's terrible, and feels like every week, isn't it? You're getting more and more bad news, and just devastating. As you say, we don't know that yet, so Fingers crossed it isn't.
Yeah, look, we're speculating. Unfortunately, it's always at the forefront of our minds in situations like this, especially when it's a non-contact injury, as you spotted there. There was just a situation where Jess went down. Martin Ho just speaking to his players here at the moment. You can sense as well that the teammates are probably thoughts with Jess at the moment, because a number of the players rushed over. Beth England over straight away, but Martin's got them back here. He's obviously concentrating on the job in hand, but he will obviously have concerns with Jess Naz as well. He's letting his physios do the work at the minute. Still down, still hasn't got up, and still that right leg, the right knee that's sort of straightened up at the minute. The stretcher is required. And she's had such a good game in this second half in particular, and back end of the first period as well. She was really playing well. She's sitting up at the minute.
Yeah, she's had a lot of the ball, hasn't she? She's been at the heart of everything and got the better of the defender 1v1 every time she's been in those situations. Some great deliveries into the box, and sad to see her game end this way.
It is. Obviously, we will get to know after the game the initial prognosis, and let's hope that it's not as serious as we fear. Fingers crossed for Jess Naz here, and if it is a more serious injury, well, we wish her well, and hopefully she'll be back in double quick time. But it is not easy, and it's an injury that will keep players out a long time. But she's just covering her face here. She's just about to be stretched off, and the Spurs fans are knowledgeable and appreciative, and they know what a good player she is, and it's I'm sure they hope that it is minor. We're fearing the worst, we don't know. Fingers crossed that Jess Naz will be back playing sooner rather than later, and you can see the concern for her teammates as well. So change made, and it's Martha Thomas who's coming on. Mainly used as a substitute this season, 8th time off the bench for Martha Thomas, still effective. Really good record against Villa as well. She got 4 goals against Villa, 3 for Spurs. Let's hope from a Spurs point of view that she can find her shooting boots here, because 20 minutes remaining, it's still 0-0.
Yep, Martha Thomas and Beth England on the pitch now, and yeah, if anything, they'll go on and try and get the result for Jess now.
Yeah, there's some good experience, good knack and know-how between those players for sure, Thomas and England. And Villa down to 10. How do they approach the final 19, plus added on time, and we'll get quite a few minutes of that, obviously.
In my experience, whenever we've gone down to 10, you sometimes play better, because you've got to rally together.
Hansen looking to prove the point. Hansen! Really good save. Got down well, did Kopp.
Yeah, good from Kopp there. Didn't commit, didn't come out. Just stayed in. Down well to get the block. The shot was straight out of mind.
Was a little bit, wasn't it? Hansen didn't quite find a corner, but Kopp stood her ground well. Didn't commit, as you mentioned. And Hansen thinking about that effort. Backing away from her.
Yeah, she was just allowed to drive into that space. I think Barclays there just lost herself there. Her body position wasn't right. I think Kopp just staying on her line makes Hansen make the decision.
West Ham have equalised away at Manchester United. It's one apiece at the moment. Shakira Martinez with the equaliser. Scored all those goals when she came to West Ham in January of this calendar year. Hasn't been as prolific this term. Daly. Grant pushes it down the line. Hijikata. Once again, she's done well. Hijikata wants it back here. Comes to the edge of the penalty area, kind of looking to curl one, might get another go, will control. But are still looking to push players forward. Daly inside the area, but the shot is saved well by Kopp once more.
I actually think Grant was going for the cross there. I think she'd got her head up, spotted that Daly was waiting. Kendall just recycling out to Grant. She gets her head up here. I think she just miscues that one.
And she's looking to her left, and the shot was skewed a little bit straight to the keeper. Lindbergh loses out. Villa have it again. The 10 players of Aston Villa haven't been cowed by the fact that they are a player shy. Daly off on the move. Even 10 years ago, she might not have gone to that one.
She gave it a thumbs up. She appreciated, spotted the run, but...
Turned 34 yesterday. Rachel Daly, she's still a terrific footballer. But all of the Villa players who are on now have just got to work that little bit harder because of Dinon's red. Cross that was curling in by Thomas. Daly's header. Bartrett forward. Spence on the move. Thomas right-hand side. England waits inside the box. Neville. Plenty of white shirts inside the area still. Good pressure from Tottenham. Thomas again looking to get beyond Maltby, who stands her ground and wins it back. And then Thomas does really well again. It's curled back inside the box. Opportunities here potentially, but the effort's been dragged wide. It was a tough opportunity really from a tightish angle.
Yeah, Claire Hunt got up the pitch. Martha Thomas, good battle in there with Maltby. Really well done. And then Summonen gets the head up. It's Claire Hunt at the back post. Can't keep it on target.
To score this season in the WSL, couple last campaign. Ashley Neville has worked really hard and played really well for me. She is the player to be replaced here. Dennis, young striker to come on. Opportunity for her to make a mark.
Definitely. Minutes have been limited. It's a great game to come into. I think Spurs are on top. Try and make her mark in this game.
Something from Crystal Palace, England junior international. Just wonder where she's going to play.
Looks like she's going at the back of her free here, on the right-hand side.
And she is competent further forwards, as she's proving.
The instant impact. You see there her attacking nature just coming out. First thought is to drive forward into that space in the midfield area.
We are going to see a change here. Throw-in's been taken, but they're going to have to take it again. Well, Rachel Daly has worked tirelessly for the cause, as she always does, is about to be replaced. Fresh legs required, given the game state and the game circumstance, down to 10. So, the change here, as you can see, we'll see Mayling come on.
Defender for a forward there, Mayling. Slotting into the back line there to shore up and try and keep it compact.
Comes up again for the attempted ball forward, but once more D'Angelo comes to collect. Mayling, who has had WSL experience this season, only one start, mainly used as a sub, but she's on for the final 13 minutes or so. That missed the penalty in the shootout, lost to Birmingham in the League Cup.
Imagine they'll go into a back four now. Try and see the game out.
Holt inside the full-back, but that was asking an awful lot of Thomas, but it will be a throw into Tottenham here. England for Holt again. Summonen feeds it back. Dennis with a touch, and again, can she whip the cross in here? And who does that come off? That's clever defensive play in the end, and it will be a goal kick.
Kirsty Hansen tracking back. Dennis having an instant impact, getting high, joining the attack, and Hansen there doing her defensive duties really, really well. She looked bright since she's come on, Dennis.
Yeah, she's shown for the ball. She's shown neat touches in good areas so far. An asset for the final dozen minutes for Tottenham for sure. Spurs supporters doing as much as they can, trying to lift the team in white here. 0-0 at the minute. Won't get to it. Kendall denied by Spence. That's been a good midfield battle. Not seen that much of Lucia Kendall. Obviously a lot of focus on her after her exploits for England, but she's been overshadowed a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, she's coming up against one of the best in the business in Drew Spence, so been good battles in there. She's come out on top a few times, but yeah, it's always tough coming up against a midfielder like Drew Spence.
Yeah, a lot of personal duels all over the pitch in this fixture. It's been fascinating to watch, but we haven't managed to see a goal. Will we get one in the final 10 or so? Won't be away. Grant on the turn. Kendall. Moritz. Jakarta around the corner. And Villa coming forwards here. Grant wants it inside the penalty area. Curled towards that near post, but comfortable for Kopp to take.
Yeah, Grant had got forward there, Malin. Head down, driving into the penalty box. Again, trying to find the run of Grant, but Kopp had the near post covered.
It does look like Grant's been pushed into that sort of centre-forward role, maybe, Jenna, here.
Yeah, she is. She's showing as that 9, that outlet. I guess she can hold up play, and she's got that speed if they are to go direct in beyond.
I mean, she's very versatile. Holt, he's shown some really good touches in this fixture. That's not the worst. England round the corner, flick to the left-hand side here. Nilden to play it back inside the box, and it'll fall for Holt, will it? Just behind her.
It's a good ball in from Nilden, but past every white shirt in there.
Villa come away with possession once again. Need an out ball here for Hansen, played fairly aimlessly forwards. It was towards Grant-ish, but never really gave the auxiliary striker an opportunity to get to it. Holt's in space. England is racing towards the penalty area. Holt still has it. Twist and a turn. Thomas to try and force it back. It's a corner.
The pass from Drew Spence there. No-look pass to start that move was incredible. It's a straight pass through the heart of the Aston Villa midfield.
I think she's really enjoying it. She's enjoying the battle. She's enjoying the conditions.
Absolutely, she's growing. And Martha Thomas as well. That's exactly what you want from your substitute. She's having an impact out there, isn't she? Come on for Naz.
Yeah, a lot of the changes made have been good in terms of touches on the ball. Lindbergh is going to curl this one in. Towards that near post area again. It's flicked on and away, but not in, and just a goal kick.
Oh, it was Dennis, I think, with the flick. Excellent movement. Good ball in right into the 6-yard box, and I think it's come off the head of Dennis, although England's claiming a corner.
We're going to see a change. Well, just reported that Chesley Grant was playing as a 9, no more, as her afternoon is done and dusted, and Paula Thomas is coming on. Limited appearances this season because of 1 or 2 injury issues, but she's in for the final 8.
I think Grant not had the impact she would have liked to in this game. Seen too much of her, but I think a lot of her work has been done off ball.
Yeah, it's one of those, you struggle to find standout players from a Villa point of view, but, you know, they're keeping Spurs at bay here, so it's the covering, it's the game management, it's that off-the-ball play that you mentioned. Goes a little unnoticed. Obviously, those 2 early chances for Aston Villa, but not a lot else. Well, Manchester City lead, the league leaders at Leicester. No real surprise that Benny Shaw is on the score sheet. This is Hansen breaking forward. Meanwhile, Aston Villa lead. Down to 10 players, but it does not matter for the Villains. And Hansen, who's had a number of breakaway opportunities in this fixture, has put one away. And it's the Aston Villa supporters that will celebrate. The ball over the top, and this time Hansen finishes unerringly. It's Tottenham 0, Aston Villa 1.
Yeah, against the run of the play. That line was flat from Tottenham, and great vision. And Hansen there, that's where she's at her best, with the grass in front of her. Barclays trying to recover, she can't get in. Great run from Hansen. Puts the burners on, just one touch, sets it up nicely. Off the laces of her left foot, keeps it low. Into the bottom corner. There's not much Kopp can do from that distance.
Fourth goal of the season for Kirsty Hansen, who's having a really influential campaign for Aston Villa. It's her fourth goal against Spurs in her career in the Women's Super League, and having fluffed her lines to a certain extent with a similar opportunity a few minutes ago, this time around a really smart finish, firing beyond Kopp into the corner. The first touch was good, the second was excellent, and Villa have got 6 minutes plus added on time to last out here. A player down, but a goal up.
And in those moments, when you're a player down, you've got to take them, and she's done exactly that. Clinical from Kirsty Hansen, totally against the run of play.
Was. And Spurs have got to try and respond with limited time left. It's towards England here! Oh, yes! Well, that's what you expect from Beth England. Spurs respond immediately. And it's a typically well-taken header from Beth England, back in the starting lineup this afternoon. And that is a really well-crafted header. A deft flick into the corner to beat D'Angelo. And it's Tottenham 1, Aston Villa 1.
Wow, what a response. Straight from the kickoff, on the front foot. Nilden getting high. Great ball in, and Bethany England, trademark, run to the near post, and that deft touch into the opposite corner. Fantastic response.
That is such a good header. Yes, it's close in. Yes, it's centre of the goal, but she takes the pace off it. She guides it into the corner. Brilliantly done from Beth England. And she has put a shift in today. She has chased everything down. With 5 minutes remaining, Spurs looking for another late come-from-behind success, as they managed to achieve against Liverpool not so long ago. The win is still on for Martin Ho's side.
Yeah, I think, talk about being clinical there. That was an unbelievable header. I had eyes on her when they were restarting, and she was jeering the team up. She was urging for more intensity, and what a response.
Change for Tottenham. Vinberg, the player that's gone off incidentally, and it's Lena Gunning-Williams, the player that's come on. So more options from a Spurs point of view.
Yeah, academy product, another attacking player, yet to really make her mark on this team.
Dennis. That's a corner. Tomas doesn't believe it. Arms out. I think the officials, by and large, have got all these right. Let's take another look at that.
It's a tough goal.
Don't know about that one. Spurs with a corner, 88th minute, taken short. To the edge of the area, want to take the shot on, it's blocked. Spurs are going to come again. This is by no means over. Nilden, wrong side of the pitch, but she's curled it in neatly with the left boot, and the header from England. Does she get anything on that? Not quite so sure. It was Thomas initially.
Oh, it's a great run from Bethany England. Nilden spotted it. Martha Thomas initially was in front of her. Oh, it was always bouncing. Just didn't connect. Great ball again from Nilden. And Bethany England have got that connection. Every time Nilden's got the ball at their feet, England screaming for it.
Holt was on the move. Villa win it back. Taylor denied and then curled towards Hijikata. She got the pace here. Again, it's brilliant defensive work from Hunt, who gets there ahead of the substitute. She has been terrific throughout this fixture for Tottenham. Holt, great first touch away from Thomas, and still coming forwards here. And still Olivia Holt. She runs into Patton, who wins it back.
It was a fantastic first touch from Holt there. Gunn and Williams have made a great run off the ball just to create the space for Holt to attack.
Manchester United back in front, incidentally, in their late kick-off against West Ham. Dominic Janssen with the goal. Holtby takes a throw and gets it back for Aston Villa as we tick into the 90th minute here. There will be a significant amount of added on time coming your way. Patrick finds Hunt. Summonen. Dennis. Well, there will be 8 minutes of added on time here. And more than enough, you would have thought, to see a winner for either side. Obviously suggesting that Spurs are favourites to pick up the 3 points here, but Villa are going to battle hard, as they have done all afternoon. England, terrier-like, chasing everything, putting a bit of pressure on D'Angelo here. Holt. Gunning Williams keeps it in and wins a corner.
Good play from Gunning Williams there. Great first touch. She was a little bit off balance, but stood strong and, yeah, clever to get the corner.
Another corner then for Tottenham, more orthodox maybe this time around. The penalty area is packed. This one's going to be spinning inside the area. Far post, overhit just a little. Meaning's going to keep this one in play for Villa, but give it away. It's a little loose. Summonen wins the throw. Spurs want to get on with things quickly here. Hunt, four-way inside the box. A little straight here for Bartrip. Holt, curled towards the far post. Well watched by D'Angelo.
Ball from Holt. Nilden was making that run at the back post. D'Angelo followed the flight of the ball the whole way there. Comfortable save.
Forward. Holt. He's been at the heart of everything good for Spurs from a creative standpoint. Dennis, who's impressed since coming on, looking to take it beyond Thomas here. That's a free kick. England loses out. Hijikata with a heavy touch. Spence's on it very quickly. Well, maybe there were better options there, but she pulled the trigger from outside the box.
I think she only had one thought in her mind when the ball fell at her feet there. The crowd thought it as well. F England again putting in the work. Just depossesses, head up, never really connects and just drags it wide.
She's been good in midfield, combative. Distribution has been good. The shot was a little off. Holt to flick it forwards. Kendall to hook it back. Taken down by Thomas. And then Mailing. Villa come again. Kendall hasn't given the full 3 points up yet for Aston Villa, but this was going to have to go all the way back to D'Angelo. Well, we've got 4.5 minutes or so remaining of the added-on time. Jenna, let's get your player of the match for this game between Spurs and Aston Villa.
Yeah, I think Tottenham have had a number of big performances. I think today, Beth England has been the difference for them. I think her work rate off the ball, leading from the front, the press, out of possession, defending for her team, and then she pops up straight from kickoff after conceding with a fantastic header, doing a trademark goal for Bethany England. So yeah, for me, I think inspirational performance from Beth England today.
Barclays player of the match, Beth England, got the equaliser. Is there any more to come from Beth and co against an Aston Villa side that have worked tirelessly since going a player down? Delon sent off for a second bookable offence. Spurs have pushed forward, got the equaliser after Hansen's shock opener. And it's not over yet. Gunning Williams. Strong play. Lovely reverse ball in for Olivia Holtz, who smashes home. And that may well be the winner for Tottenham. Well, she has created much throughout the 94, near 95 minutes here. This time she finishes with real power and accuracy close in. A wonderful ball in, and she's got a little bit of cramp as well after that forceful effort, but it beat D'Angelo. All ends up, and it's Tottenham 2, Aston Villa 1.
Oh, the ball again, Drew Spence pulling the strings, unbelievable vision, technique, and it spots the run. Great run from Olivia Holt, and only one thing in her mind there, gets all the power behind it, smashes through with her laces. D'Angelo makes herself big, but the power takes it past her. Fantastic from Olivia Holt, and there she is, Drew Spence again with the trademark no-look pass.
Well, that is a wonderful assist, and it's a thumping goal, and it's Olivia Holt, whose performance has been really good today. She might have had an assist herself on another day. She would have been proud of the through ball from Drew Spence. Perfectly weighted, really good assist from Spence, who's been terrific in midfield. And Spurs, well, it will be another come-from-behind success for Martin Ho's side. Well, just look at this, goals 84, 85 and 90 plus 5. The game has come alive late on. It's not over yet. Kendall, Taylor, and then Mailing to curl in, and collected by Kopp.
Still going for it. Villa trying to find that equaliser. Committed the bodies forward. I think there's some tired legs out there from Villa now.
Well, I suggested at the start of the commentary, and if you read a bit of the copy from plenty of the previews heading into this game, there is a suggestion that Spurs might have looked out in a few fixtures this season by not creating much, but getting over the line in terms of wins or draws. But they've deserved this success, if it is to be a success, because they've created a lot, they have been good, and sometimes you can play above your metrics, sometimes you are just a better side than what those numbers suggest. But I think maybe Spurs have proved today that they deserve to be in the position that they are in the Women's Super League.
Definitely. I mean, they're a good footballing team. I think defensively they've been excellent. The back line has been fantastic, and then really creative in those midfield areas. I think they've dominated the midfield battles with Drew Spence and Simonon. And then going forward, you know, when you've got players like Olivia Holt and Beth England on the pitch, you're going to find those goals, and that's what they've done today.
E.G. Carter races forward. Final 30 seconds of the added-on 8. Lisa Kopp does get rid. Saw her indulge in some fancy footwork in the first half. Not in the 98th minute. Smash it clear, that'll do.
Yeah, none of that at this stage in the game.
Yeah, Villa have battled hard, and obviously the sending off, if it wasn't for Delon and that bit of madness, it might have been a bit different. Thomas jumps, but the header safely into the hands of Kopp. He just drops on this one, and that, I reckon, will be that. We'll have another minute, actually, given the celebrations after the goal and the cramp that Olivia suffered. Just needed the calf stretching out a little bit. Thomas outside of the boot. Hansen's going forward again here. Hijikata inside the penalty area. Not over yet. Hansen with a twist and a turn, needs a teammate, can't find one just yet. Might get another go, does whip the cross in. Cleared away. Hansen, third time lucky maybe for Villa. Not gonna have time to create anything else. Villa have battled hard, but it's Martin Ho and his coaching staff that will celebrate here. They have deserved this one. It has been a real battle as well for Tottenham. And it's Holt with the winner in added on time, rifled home with real power after a terrific reverse pass from Drew Spence. An excellent assist after Beth England had levelled it for Tottenham. A deft header, a typical Beth England goal, made it 1-1. She led the line brilliantly with energy, industry and quality over the course of the 90-plus minutes. Hansen, of course, did put Villa in front, but Lucia Candle & Co. coming off second best here in the capital today. Not their game. It was Tottenham who were too good. They left it late. A come from behind success. Full time here, Tottenham Hotspur 2, Aston Villa 1. Well, it was a bit of a slow burner here, for sure. Tottenham took their time to get into top gear. But in the end, Jenna, a deserved success for Spurs here. They had to work hard for the victory, though. It
was a battle out there for both teams, I think. And I think Tottenham looked the better team in the second half. They definitely came out and had that little bit more quality, and you know, they found the moments and they took their moments here in the second half and have come away with a well-deserved win. I think they created a number of chances. I thought the subs that come off the bench made an instant impact and played a big part in getting the result today. Yeah, I think the way that Martin Ho has managed the squad today has been impressive. There are games coming thick and fast for both of these two teams. Obviously for Natalia Araujo, it's been difficult. Players injured ahead of this game. She's had to mix and match as well. She promoted some players in, didn't quite work for her. We won't know, obviously, if it would have been a defeat if Denon hadn't have been sent off, but I think it's a deserved red. It was a deserved second yellow, really, and from that point on, this squad was struggling. Definitely, I think they'll be really disappointed to go 1-0 up with 10 players and switch off in that moment. The game is about those fine margins, and they switched off, and Bethany England punished them, and then it felt like the momentum is with Tottenham to go on and get the victory. Spurs players who are smiling at the moment. And look, there has been a little bit of criticism that they haven't created that many opportunities and they've been winning goals with a very small XG. But Martin Ho has talked about the fact, and Danny, you mentioned it as well, you've got to sort your defensive situation out first. Disappointing season last campaign, but they have been much better this season. Let's hear from the match winner, shall we? Irma Gurav is speaking to Olivia Holt.
Olivia, congratulations, what a result, what a fight from your side. Talk to me about your emotions right now. How are you feeling after that one?
I'm feeling amazing. It was such a good team performance today, and we struggled a little bit, but in the end we got the 3 points, and that shows it all.
Yeah. Beth, huge goal from you to get the comeback started. Talk me through the goal. What were your emotions at that point?
Yeah, obviously they went down to 10. We should be on top, and our standards dropped, and it was disappointing. I was trying to get the girls going, and we knew we needed a quick reaction if we were going to take anything from this game. I felt like we were on top in large part, so I truly believe we deserved the win. They gave us a great game, but that goal to get us back in it was amazing, and this girl shining as always and getting the 3 points for us, and that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, Olivia, what does that goal mean to you? It was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it was just amazing. Like, it's those goals you dream about, and I'm so happy I scored, because I know I would have a Beth England on my shoulder if I didn't score and I didn't play her. So, it's as Beth just mentioned, like, the goal to get us back in the game gave us so much belief to keep going, and yeah, it's just really nice feeling.
I have to ask you about Jess Naz, because of course that was a really difficult moment for us to watch, and I'm sure for you guys. How hard is it to see that as a teammate and to carry on after that in the game?
Yeah, no one wants to see that. I think, obviously, we don't know what it is. It couldn't be the dreaded one that we all hope it's not. Obviously, she'll be getting assessed. Everyone at the club will be behind her and supporting her no matter what the result is. Fingers crossed it's good. It's something not as bad as we hope. And, yeah, we wish her all the best. And for us, it's about, we got those 3 points for her as well, because, again, it's tough seeing it, but you have to switch on in that moment. I think we did switch off a bit, which you saw. But, again, that resilience that we're finding in this team, we're bringing it back, and that's what got us those points today. So we just hope that Jess is okay.
And you talk about resilience, that's been a feature of your play all season. You're 1 point off the Champions League spots. As a squad, is that something you think about?
Do you want to answer that?
Look, I think it's a cliche. We take it game by game. We know this club's moving in the right direction. Every week we're coming out here and fighting for those points and trying to climb that table. We're putting pressure on the ones above us, and all we can do is control our controllables. So that's exactly what we're doing.
Well, Beth, you are the Barclays player of the match. Olivia, would you like to give it to her?
I would love to. There you go.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Cheers.
Olivia, Beth, can we have a...
Great to hear from Beth and Olivia there, and you were just suggesting to me, Jenna, if you could pass the player of the match award to Olivia. These are the dangers of doing it sort of 90, 92, 93 minutes, but when someone scores in the 95th, what can you do?
I mean, either of them could have got it. I mean, there was many players in that Tottenham team today that performed at a 9-10 level, and that's why they've come away with the result. But yeah, two phenomenal players there. And
no doubt about that. And they referenced Jess Naz there. Obviously, we don't know either, but they will be behind her wherever happens. And it was also interesting to hear from Beth saying, look, we did switch off a little bit after that, and that's obviously when Villa managed to get it in front, and then that you've got to switch back on again. And sometimes that's not easy when you've seen one of your teammates go down with potentially a serious injury.
Yeah, I mean, it must be incredibly difficult to carry on and reset the focus. And yeah, they got punished in that moment, but the ability then to flick the light switch and get themselves back in it in a matter of seconds is unbelievable. And like England said there, they got the 3 points for Jess, and fingers crossed it isn't as serious as it looks.
Still to be assessed, as Beth England rightly points out. Let's take a look back at the match highlights, shall we, from Spurs' late win over Aston Villa. This was a cross from Jess Naz, who'd performed really well in the second half before injury. Went across the 6-yard box, nearly deflected in.
Yeah, it was good work from Jess, getting the better of her 1v1 there, and deflection off Maritz's boot helped it to bobble under the keeper.
This was the shot from Beth England. Brilliant save, wasn't it, this from D'Angelo?
Yeah, link-up play there, excellent from Holt. And England, who takes the shot first time, and D'Angelo got down really early with a strong hand.
Delonde with a wild follow-through on Holt, and this was a second yellow, Jenna.
Absolutely, I think there can be no complaints. It was the follow-through there, just reckless in her challenge.
Don't even pick up Delonde as she was straight down the tunnel. Hansen was a threat throughout, and she had a number of opportunities racing into balls in that sort of area. The first one was saved, not good enough.
Yeah, I mean, really well initially Hansen does there. She's got 3 defenders breathing down her neck and just can't find the execution.
But she could do second time around. That's a really smart finish.
So good. Use of both feet as well. Gets the burners on first touch and then buries it home into the bottom corner with the left foot.
Takes it so early with the left as well here, and you can see the cop isn't set. And Villa with an unlikely advantage, down to 10 players with just 6 minutes remaining. But you've got to stand firm against a talented Tottenham side, and Villa were unable to do that. And pretty much straight from kick-off, this is a really good ball in from the left-hand side, Nilden, but what a header this is for Beth England. The movement is brilliant, and the header clinical.
Yeah, excellent movement. She holds off initially and then makes the run to the front post, and it's the slightest of touches. Directs it into the bottom corner. It's fantastic, and a trademark Beth England goal.
I think you were right to give her a player of the match. Don't worry about that. That is a brilliant header. Holt, as we know, played brilliantly and did get the winner. Drew Spence loves a little reverse, no-look pass, but that's a thumping finish.
Yeah, fantastic. From Drew Spence again, pulling those strings, and Holt, one thing on her mind, smashes it home. There it is again. Been doing that all afternoon, Drew Spence, and buries that into the corner.
Stunning winner. Got a bit of cramp in pulling the trigger. Needed a little bit of treatment from her teammates, but it's certainly worth it from her and Spurs' point of view. Obviously yesterday Arsenal beat Liverpool by 2-1. City have beaten Leicester incidentally by 3-0. The league leaders going well. Brighton have beaten London City Lionesses, maybe a little bit of a surprise there. That's the latest score. Manchester United still in front against West Ham. They lead by 2-1, and obviously here Spurs getting the better of Villa by 2-1. Chelsea-Everton a little bit later today. What that means is that Tottenham remain in 5th, but now level on points with Arsenal, 19 points apiece, as you can see. Manchester United jump back into 3rd ahead of Arsenal. City lead the way. They are 6 clear of Chelsea, and Chelsea obviously play a little bit later on today. So Beth, England, the star of the show. Spurs with a come-from-behind success as Holt hammers home for Martin Ho's side. From myself, Dan Roebuck, and from Jenna Schillaci. That's all. Spurs 2-1 winners over Aston Villa. Bye for now.